You know that feeling, you know what you want to do, you know what you have to do, but week after week, no action is taken and nothing's done. Nothing changes and we're stuck in the same place. Here's the thing, I'm a science student and I've built multiple projects and businesses in the past. I'm taking a gap year right now, and in the last 12 weeks, I went from zero to having some momentum in my content business and hitting goals that I didn't even think were possible. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact system, the 12-foot year system I used that turned my wishful thinking into actual accomplished goals. So let's go. This is why the 12-foot year system actually works. This is what most people also actually get wrong. They set goals, but they set it too far. Because 12 months is actually a really long duration and the brain can't comprehend that far time. It's like abstract, it's like someday. Whereas 12 weeks, think of it as like a race. It's within reach, yet it's still a stretch. You can see the end line, but you still have to work to get there. So compared to a someday, it's close enough to feel urgent, yet far enough to actually accomplish something meaningful. Because when you commit to a 12-foot year, literally everything changes. Every single waking moment, every single action you've planned for yourselves is a needle that will push you closer to your goals. When I applied this in my life, I literally stopped asking myself the question, what am I doing with my life? I felt so much more intentional and just enjoyed living. Because my life felt like a video game, it was so gamified. And the feeling of living intentionally is truly immaculate. No longer drifting, no longer wondering, just execute and knowing that you're doing what you need to do to get there, such that your future self in 3 months has already achieved the dream reality that you now desire. So I'm going to share a personal case study, which is what I've done for myself in the past 12 weeks. I'm going to be really vulnerable here and I'm going to share the 4 phases I went through in this 12-foot year, from chaos to momentum to pivot and having a routine at the end, and of course the ups and downs that came with it. Long story short, I set myself a goal to grow on my contents because the current job I was in at that point in time was just really hectic and just really dreading. I just didn't like the job at all. So I wanted to have a personal brand as a side project, something I can feel myself into and something that I might monetize in the future. So week 1 to 3 is the initial phase. It was utter chaos. I was completely overwhelmed. So I thought I was superwoman and I decided to take up both TikTok and YouTube at the same time. I had to script up. For TikTok, I had an idea to do 3-part series of finance systems because I was really into having systems. And it took so long for me to script the video, for me to film it, and for me to edit it out. The packaging style and everything, I wanted it to be consistent. It took so much out of me. It really drained me. And YouTube, on the other hand, I didn't just have to learn how to script and edit. I even had to learn how to package the video, how to write a proper thumbnail, SEO, and title. Oh my god. There's actually a point where I couldn't take it anymore and I was crying after work. So the main lesson I learned here is I had a goal, but I had no system. I was grinding without a direction and I got burnt out even before I started. So phase 2, this is actually just the pivot phase, week 4 to week 6. So that's when I did research, which is what I should have done at the start. I did a lot of research, I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I came across Ava Yufgen's personal brand launch account on TikTok, rabbit holed into her content, and I found that she has a course and that she has a template. This was an ultimate game changer because I could now do something called batch work. I scripted everything in one go, filmed everything in one shot, and edited one shot. Instead of bringing one video through each of the sections, I did it all in one shot. And in the book Essentialism, they actually mentioned this. Instead of spreading your energy across multiple things, it is more efficient and wise to focus in and hone on one thing and let it grow there so that you can actually get somewhere. So therefore, I decided to pause YouTube and hone in on TikTok. Suddenly, content creation wasn't chaotic because I had a system and I built myself into a repeatable process that I can just reuse whenever. It was from chaotic, it became systematic, and my follower count then increased from 80 followers to 150 followers. It is small, but it was still some sort of movement that I couldn't previously come up. So I was really grateful for that. Okay, now phase 3, which is week 4 to week 9, the momentum phase. Here is where it got interesting. Once the basics became a bit more routine, my brain started paying attention to what actually worked on my page. So when I looked at my page, right, compared to other videos that's around like 200, 300 views, my meal prep video went really viral. It got about 10k views. So I did the obvious thing, I doubled down on it and I made other variation versions of my meal prep. I also took this opportunity to put up freebies on my stencil, which I already linked in my page. It was products that I already used to create meal prep, which is a meal plan SOP as well as a meal planning sheet in terms of protein and calories. I also took the chance to study other creators' video and try to replicate what works for them. Afterwards, opportunities just kind of arose and I got to meet up with other creators, and I wanted to be strategic with the interaction, and I was able to make the interaction a bit more strategic by filming with them and tagging them. Not really collaborating in a sense, but rather tagging them in the content that I post. So 3 examples. So first example is actually Atika Dar, who has 200k followers. She hosted a flea market, so I attended it and made a video about it. Second one is actually Radical Kindness at 80,000 followers. I actually visited him on one of his homeless journey and made a video and tagged him as well. And third one was actually an international person whose idea I really loved. It was doing a life binder, which was part of like my 2026 planning. I feel like that was a really good idea because I've never thought about a life binder before. I mean, I plan my life pretty seriously with like a quarterly planning. Oh, by the way, I'm planning to do a video on this in the future. It's my like system for the year. Oh, this is like a 12-week year, by the way. So since this is like Q1 of 2026, I have this here right now. Yeah, but more of that in a future video of followers. But I felt that I was signaling to TikTok that I'm not just a participant of the platform. I'm an active user and I want to generate and contribute the videos as well. So actually, having like done this, right, I actually became more active in engaging with the platform by commenting, and even when I see posts with interesting ideas or interesting structure that I want to emulate, I will just into my swipe file for me to study in the future. And so the learning point here is why did this work is because my back-end system was already systemized. It's already something that's working, which means that it allowed me to execute it. I'm no longer working the system is working for me with the repeatable process I mentioned earlier, which means that my mind is freed for me to focus on other areas and other opportunities that I actually could execute instead of feeling overwhelmed by just trying to keep up with the basics. By the end of the phase, my follower count grew to 250 followers. And now the last phase, phase 4, which is the routine. This was the last 2 weeks, 10 to 12. So by week 10, right, actually something kind of clicked. I fell into a complete rhythm. I don't know to call it flow state of what, but I was just in the zone, you know. At this point, I was posting about 30 to 60 days non-stop. I was able to post once a day without overwhelming myself or burning out because I had already batch filmed, batch edited, and I saved it to my drafts. So I just post on the day itself. Out of the entire days in my Notion calendar, I only missed 1 or 2 days, and there were some days I was able to post twice because I got so routine with editing that I could just vlog my day in the life and post it on the day itself. So I started at 0. My goal was to hit 250. By the end of the 12 weeks, I hit 300 followers. I know it's not a lot, but I'm so grateful for every single one of the person who followed me because this was something that I never thought I could actualize, and I grew and I started this TikTok channel out of like hate for my job, like from my negative energy. But I feel it's blossomed and grown into something so peaceful and nurturing to me where I'm able to share the things that I enjoy, like meal prepping systems, teachings that I do on a whiteboard, time management things, day in my life going to school and attending lab work. This just makes me so happy. This is what I learned overall. It's not about motivation, it's not even about working harder. It's honestly having a system and being able to execute on it consistently. And the magic sauce of this entire 12 weeks, right, is at the end of each 12-week year is schedule in my calendar block to do a weekly reflection. This is where I'll review, okay, what went well this week, what didn't go well, and from this I will plan to change, okay, what can I iterate for the next week. This is how every single week I'm able to make these tweaks and go from absolutely chaotic to building momentum even. This is what the 12-week year gave me. It gave me absolute clarity. It gave me the feeling of living with intention, knowing that every single day I'm doing something that pushes me towards the goals I want to achieve, that pushes me to my desired state of life. And that's what I want for you too. If you like this video on my 12-week year, check out my other videos where I talk about my health system and my monthly closeout, which gives me so much more clarity on a month-to-month basis, as well as another really important area of my life outside of my content, which is my health. This is the one that blew up my TikTok as well. So thanks for watching and subscribe for more.